Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. Hey, last weekend I got my new tires on the iron head behind me, so it's just about completely done. I'm even ready to take it down off the lift and take it on its maiden voyage, but I did that last weekend. But listen, I wanted to talk to you guys today about archaeology. And you know what? I love archaeology. I absolutely love it. You know that every time they dig in the Holy Land, in Israel and the surrounding area, every time they dig, they find something that is written about in the Bible. Every time. You know, Pilate's name was not found in any Roman records at all. None. And for years, all the scoffers were saying, that's an absolute lie in the Bible. This guy, the Romans would have tons of records. Well, one day they're digging in Israel and they pull up a clay tablet that has Pontius Pilate's name on it and all of his accomplishments. Here recently I just saw where the tombs of Annas and Caiaphas, the high priests, both their tombs were just located. Every town and village that's mentioned in the Bible, they go to that location and they dig, and guess what? They find it every single time. For the longest time, the great Hittite nation and the Hittite city was never located. And the scoffers said, see, Bible's not true. Well, one day they're digging in the area where it was supposed to be, and yep, they find it. Sure enough. And look at that discovery that they found all those Egyptian chariot wheels in the bottom of the Red Sea. Literally they're just scattered everywhere. Chariot wheels. Because of course, you know, Moses parts the Red Sea, they go through, the Egyptians follow, the waters collapse, and there they'd be. Right there in the bottom of the Red Sea, all the chariot wheels. People, if the Bible says it happened, it's in the ground every time. People have always said the Bible has changed over time. You can't trust it. It's word of mouth. It's changed over time. Well, when they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls, right there in Cave 11, Book of Isaiah, Book of Ezekiel, Book of Enoch, right there with the two of them in the cave. They take out the scroll of Isaiah, which was almost totally complete. They roll it out. And they check it against the Septuagint. Word for word, exactly the same. There were a couple names that had the spellings changed because of the old and the new Hebrew. That's it. Other than completely the same. Hadn't changed one bit over a course of thousands of years. People, every single thing in the Bible, you go look in the ground and you're going to find it. Because archaeology bears out every single word the Bible says. Archaeology is not evolution's friend. Archaeology is a friend of the Bible, but it is not the friend of the evolutionists. Dinosaur and human footprints can be seen in Glen, Texas. You walk up on the riverbed, they're right there. Dinosaur tracks, human tracks, one right on top of the other. In coal deposits, deep down in coal mines, right? They have found brass lamps, necklaces, hammers in the coal seams. Those coal seams are supposed to be, you know, 300 million years old, 500 million years old. And yet we find these artifacts inside the coal seams. Because of course the coal seams were laid down during the flood of Noah's Ark. Bob Barker, one of the leading paleontologists in America, he found soft tissue, skin, blood inside the skull of a T-Rex. proving that that T-Rex is not but about 5,000 years old. The dinosaur beds of northern Colorado, lower Wyoming, hundreds of dinosaurs laying in the same place, and their necks are stretched up like they're trying to grasp for air. It's called the death pose. All because they were stuck in the mud during the flood and they were trying to get that last breath of air. They found two dinosaurs that were actually in combat, facing off against each other. One of them had his teeth on the other one's throat. They were frozen in place because during the flood, the waters that came down from the firmament was freezing cold. It just froze everything the minute it hit. Woolly mammoths found, frozen, standing up with a full mouth full of grass, frozen in place. Bears out the flood. Giant bones of the Nephilim found all over the world, found all across America during the 1800s. The giant bones of the Nephilim were everywhere. Doesn't quite fit into the narrative. That's why the Smithsonian Institute came right behind the pioneers and gathered them all up and put them away, never to be seen again. We have America's Stonehenge in New England. We have the Great Serpent Mound in Ohio with over 10,000 earthen works in Ohio alone. And the Native Americans say, wasn't us. They were here when we got here. They're all built on the 18-month lunar cycle, and the American Indians had no knowledge of that. The Inca walls in South America, some of those stones that weigh upwards of 60, 70 tons were brought from like 8,000 or 9,000 feet lower in elevation and 50 miles away. They didn't have any beast of burden in South America. All they had was llamas. Never happened. People, listen. If it happened, if it's truth, then it's in the ground. Every single time. Archaeology completely proves the Bible and it completely disproves evolution. Now let's just take for a minute right now, we're sitting in my garage, right? We are in my garage. What if all of a sudden I just vanished? Every human being just vanished off the face of the earth and we were no longer here. Well, it's not even going to take 100 years and this house is no longer going to exist. The bugs are going to eat up all the wood. The minute the roof is shot and everything starts getting wet, everything in this house is going to crumble down to the ground. The cement, the slab that it's on, the grass and the dirt's all going to grow over it and it won't even be seen. Now, you come back in 10,000 years to this location where I'm sitting right now, what are you going to find? Well, number one, I got my toolbox right there. So when you dig, you're going to find all these really cool wrenches that go from small to big, and then you're going to find all these round sockets all made out of steel, and you're going to go, what the heck are these? What did they use these for? Must have been some ceremonial worship thing they used them for. There might be drumsticks or something. Over there I got a coin jar. They're going to go, that coin jar is going to hit the ground right there, and there's going to be probably a couple hundred coins right there. And there was an old myth, thousands of years old, that talked about this place called the United States of America. And it's just a myth. Everybody said that place never existed. Never existed. You know, it's 5,000 years ago. Never existed. But somebody's going to dig up one of those quarters down there in the ground, and they're going to pick up that quarter and it's going to say United States of America. And it's going to prove that this country did exist. See, that's the way it is with archaeology. If it happened, it's in the ground. If it's truth, it's in the ground. The ground always tells what took place upon it because it's in the dirt. And that's the way archaeology is. It completely proves the Bible and completely disproves evolution. Anyway, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.